I've been watching the NHL playoffs. I've been keeping tabs on the NBA playoffs. But the one thing that I've always hated about both of those sports is that they start the next round while the other round is still playing, no matter how deep they are. Like, it's not just like, there's a game 7 going on, so we're starting the second round, and they'll play game 1 while that team's playing game 7. This team could be in game 4, and they're starting the second round while these other teams are still catching up. So I ask you this. It's unfair to playoff teams to start the next round while the previous round is still playing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. I don't like it at all that they do that. They should finish out a round because you should be rewarded if you have a 4-0 win and not a 7-game series. I don't think that you should be punished in a sense of continuing the tournament. You should get that break, that time with your team where you can kind of recollect, get ready for that next matchup where you're going to play somebody else for 7, possibly 7 straight games. So I absolutely think way on that one that they should not be. Excuse me, no way they should not be playing immediately right after.
So let me ask you this, Wyatt. Would you rather have a break between the first and second round game or the second and third round games?
I'd rather have a break between all of them.
No, you have to
Like spread out evenly.
Hashtag waffle in the comments here because you can't have them both ways. You want between the first and second
Why do
round
you have
or
to
the
pick
second
one
and
or
third?
the other, Buck? The second and third, or the third round will start before the second round's over too. It's not just the first round.
But I'm saying, like, as a athlete, I want to break later in the playoffs. So the answer to that question is is way. I don't care that the other games are playing 6, 7 series games. If me and the other team that I'm playing sweep through our teams, and then we can play a 4 or 5 game series when they just start their second round game, and I have a 4 or 5 day break. Sorry about your luck. You shouldn't have went 7 games. You should have stepped up and swept them like the Bucks did the Heat.
So you're telling me that the 1 seed playing the 8 seed and the 2 seed playing the 7 seed, but the 4 or 5 who get into a battle through 7 games, too bad for you for being the 4 or the 5 seed, while these other 2 teams are sweeping and they're in game 3 by the time you get out of the first round.
Exactly.
And then you go on to the second round because you pull off an upset in the second round. Now the other teams had freaking... And not only that, but sometimes there's a such thing as too much rest as well. We've seen good teams go into another round and get too much rest and be rusty when they start out and lose the first 2 games quick and get down to a 2-0 hole and end up losing that round because they had too much rest. I don't like it. I don't mind if it's a game 7, but I'm telling there's certain second round games while other teams are still in the 5th game of the series. It's like if you look at the Western Conference right now, there in the NBA there are 2 or 3 series that are tied 2-2.
Right.
You look at the Eastern Conference, and there are I think all the series are either 3-1 or they're over.
Yeah.
So So you're telling me it's okay that the Eastern Conference, who might end up because the Eastern Conference isn't as tough as the West, because the Western Conference is definitely tougher than the East, and they're going to play tougher opponents all the way through, so there's going to be more battles. You're telling me that the Eastern Conference 1 seed should get, a 5 or 6 day rest while the Western Conference has to go to a 7-game series because there's more parity and more competition in the West?
Sorry about your luck, but Combs, the final dates are already set. The games are like already set. It is just the locations to be determined. So it doesn't matter if you play a 7-game series or like a 4-game series. The finals dates are already set. So the argument here is kind of invalid because, like, do you want your break in the first round or the second round or the third round? It doesn't really matter because no matter how many games you play or don't play, the finals games are already set.
I don't think. Yeah,
Tori
I was about to say.
Anderson
I don't
says
think I
deer
can.
hunting season isn't until November.